What are you looking for with the foundation?
So this is a very, very young foundation. It hasn't even really had time to settle onto its footings yet. Even still, at this stage, it's not unusual to find little hairline shrinkage or settling cracks in it as this house begins to settle onto its footings. This one, from what I've seen yet, is not showing them, but it will eventually. So at this point, if we're not seeing that, what we tend to be concerned about are little voids in the pour or inclusions in the pour where they didn't quite get the forms filled up enough, or maybe where some of the surface of the concrete cracked and spalled a little bit, which is what you're looking at right there, where they've actually already filled that in, which is what they're supposed to do. Again, we're kind of looking at the quality of the pour. There's a cold joint right here, which means they ran out of concrete on one pour and then put another one in on top of it, which is fine. That's going to happen during the pouring of a foundation, but again, as long as there's no big chunks or inclusions taken out of that, that's okay. We're looking at things like in the beam pockets up there, did they put a moisture barrier between where that beam is sitting and resting on top of the concrete so it doesn't soak up moisture? It's absolutely fascinating to me that we're back to using wood beams again for houses when we had switched to steel for so long. And then we're looking, to make sure the foundation hasn't been damaged anywhere along the way. And obviously we'll get up in the crawl space and look at the neatness of all of that pour as well. Oh, there we go. See? You've got a settling or shrinkage crack already, which is going to be alarming to a lot of people when they look at it, but it's coming off a very high stress point in the foundation here, and it tapers off into almost nothingness where it hits the footer, so it's a little wider at the top than it is at the bottom.
Trying to get that?
Yep.
There we go.
So it's a classic either settling or shrinkage crack, and it's impossible to tell at this point in time which one of those two it actually is. But it's exactly where we would expect to see that kind of crack in a foundation. And then lastly, kind of what we're going to look at is the slab in here, which most folks don't realize is completely non-structural. So it's literally just a concrete pour that you're going to put your finished floor on top of eventually. So the fact that it's settled and cracked pretty much all the way from this wall, all the way over that door, so it's basically kind of split in two and done this, isn't a big deal. It's just 4-inch flat work, so that's going to happen. They may have to grind it down a little bit eventually to smooth it out, but par for the course on new construction.